Good morning, guys, and welcome to Sober School, where you can always find experience, strength, and hope. My name is Drew, and I'm an alcoholic, and we want to welcome you to this platform here today. Regardless of what your addiction may be, you are welcome here. We support multiple pathways of recovery, and we want this program to work for you. If you're watching this through our Recovery Classroom Facebook page, I encourage you to share your own experience, strength, and hope, and your own words of wisdom for others. You never know who needs to hear what it is you have to say, and it may just change somebody's life. I do encourage you to follow the posting guidelines there. So definitely share your experience, strength, and hope with others. It really could make a difference in somebody's life. Also, as I mentioned yesterday, I think it was, we now have a Twitter and Instagram. You can follow us on both Twitter and Instagram, as well as on Facebook or on the Sober School website as well. So definitely have several options. I want to talk briefly today. I know I'm late to the game this morning, and that's okay. Better late than never, right? Progress, not perfection. I want to talk today about resentment, step 4, resentments. And we're going to start talking about this over the next several days anyway. But the big book is very clear. We take this personal inventory, the stock of, what I think in Bill's words here, we search out the flaws in our makeup which caused our failures in trying to control our lives and trying to manage our drinking and all that. We search out these flaws which caused our failures. And resentment is the number one offender. Obviously, some of you may be using the worksheets, which, if you have them, absolutely want to use them. It allows you and your sponsor to sit down and go through in detail your step 4 for sure. But, I've worked with guys where I've just told them, take out a sheet of paper, write resentments at the top, and give me 3 columns, just 3 columns. Who you resent, why you resent them, and what was your part in that resentment. And of course, you complete each column first. So in other words, I complete the person that I resented first. I completed that whole column first before I went to column number 2, before I started writing out what they did. All right, so you want to complete each individual column individually. But what I was thinking about this morning was the number one resentment. Obviously, resentment is the number one offender, but who was the number one resentment for me? And it was very simple. Myself. I resented myself. I resented myself at who I had let myself become. In my mind, I thought I was the same person I was 20 years ago, 25 years ago, whenever. But in reality, I was not that person at all. Not only physically, but not up here either. And I really grew to hate myself. Now, keep in mind, my alcoholism, my drinking, a lot of people think, I hate myself and that's why I drink. You got it backwards. See, I resented myself and so I drank. Very, very different things, right? I resented who I'd allowed myself to become, and therefore I didn't want to see that. I didn't want to believe that, so I started drinking. And then what happened is the alcohol started lying to me and saying, well, see, you hate yourself, or you hate yourself because you're an alcoholic. Well, no. I hated myself for many other reasons. Alcohol was just a symptom. The big book is very clear about that too. I hated myself for many other reasons. And that's where step 4, I had to start looking at why I hated myself, why I had no self-esteem, why I had no self-worth or self-value. Matter of fact, there is nothing about me at all that I liked. And even now, going back and looking at those pictures from 2 years ago, it's just written all over me. I was 80 pounds heavier, and there was a lot of baggage I was carrying in that extra weight on my body that I look back and see now. So resentment is that number one offender, and it can get in the way of us being of maximum service to God and to others. And that's why it's important that we clean house. We clean our side of the street, right? And step 4 is where we start that. I want to encourage you today. Take a look at those resentments. Make you out a list. Now, keep in mind, I've had guys, write out, Johnny. Well, who's Johnny? Johnny was from 4th grade. He took my lunch money. If Johnny taking your lunch money in 4th grade, if you're still pissed about that and resentful towards Johnny, then fine, put it down. But, Susie, who stole my bike in kindergarten, that's probably not a resentment, right? So it may be, I don't know. But make sure when you're listing out your resentments, make sure that they are the actual things that you're still holding on to that you haven't let go of yet, because that's the wreckage we need to clear away. Again, if you're just doing a simple, want to do it with the worksheets, great. If you're just doing a simple sheet of paper, just give yourself 3 columns. First column is the person who pissed you off, the person you resent. The second column is what they did. And the third column is what was your part. Fill up column number 1 first, then start on column number 2, and then finally start column number 3. And column number 3 is the last column, because that's where you really have to start digging deep. You know, I would grow resentful of people because they wouldn't make me feel about me the way that I couldn't feel about myself. That was a big fact that I had to come to terms with. But at the end of the day, my biggest resentment was towards myself, who I had allowed myself to become, and why I had let myself get that way, get to the point where I was depressed, I was suicidal, I didn't want to live life because I hated the person in the mirror. And we're going to talk about that too, learning how to start loving the person that you see in the mirror, because the goal of recovery is not just to get clean and sober, but rather learn how to love yourself so you don't want to hurt yourself any longer. So with that, I'll let you guys go. Again, apologies for the delay, today's message. Work has definitely been a first day back in the office for me for sure. But I love you guys again. Thank you for letting me come in and share 5-6 minutes of your day with you. I hope you're able to take something away from it. We're going to talk more about Step Forward and resentments and fears and everything else as we go along over the next couple of days. So just wanted to give you this quick high-level overview, and we'll talk more tomorrow. So in the meantime, guys, remember, you can always reach out to us through the Recovery Classroom Facebook page, drew@soberschool.org via email. You can always just post right there on the Facebook page. So with that being said, I'll let you guys go. Have a kick-ass day. And remember, you can't get drunk if you don't take that first drink.